In class, the girl only took a short nap, but in her dream, she encountered a murderous demon. She was so scared that she trembled, and then turned to run out of the classroom. But when she burst out the door, she found herself back in the same classroom. Seeing the demon raising its sharp steel claws and walking toward her, she screamed in terror, only to wake up from the nightmare. However, the severed hair on the desk made her realize that everything she had just experienced was actually real. Fearing the demon might return at night, she invited her boyfriend to stay with her. In the middle of the night, she was suddenly awakened by the sound of a dog barking. Noticing her boyfriend was still fast asleep, she decided to go outside alone to check. By the time she reached the door, the barking had stopped. No matter how much she called, the dog didn't respond. Feeling uneasy, she cautiously walked closer, only to see the dog's lifeless body. The next moment, the murderous demon appeared again. She quickly ran back into the house, but when she rushed inside, she realized that this was not her home. Just as she was confused, a little girl appeared in front of her, pulling her hand and walking forward. However, it seemed the demon knew she was coming. Fortunately, before it could attack, the girl woke up again. It seemed like another dream, but when she washed her face and tried to relax to fall back asleep, the demon appeared behind her. It turned out she hadn't woken up at all and was still trapped in the nightmare. She screamed and kicked her boyfriend out of bed while calling for him. Next, her body began to float unnaturally, spinning 18 degrees before rapidly crashing into the ceiling. Finally, the demon's steel claws pierced through her body. Having witnessed his girlfriend's death with his own eyes, the boyfriend had no time to mourn. He quickly grabbed his clothes and ran outside. He feared being framed as the killer, but as he was leaving, he accidentally triggered the alarm. Soon, the police found him. He kept insisting that he hadn't done anything, but the police didn't believe him, especially since he was covered in blood. After being sent to prison, the boy became afraid to sleep. He kept slapping himself and banging his head against the wall to fight off the drowsiness. Before long, a prison guard opened the iron door and said he was to be taken for questioning. He didn't suspect anything until they exited the prison, at which point he had a bad feeling. When he turned around, he discovered that the passage behind him had turned into a wall. Then all the lights went out. When they turned back on, the prison had transformed into an old, abandoned factory. At that moment, the boy could still hear his girlfriend's cries for help, clearly indicating that he too had entered the same nightmare. Would he be able to escape the murderous demon's pursuit in his dreams?